right, welcome back, everyone, at Titi's House Podcast. It is Sunday, June 16th. We are in observance of Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. This is going to air on Monday after Father's Day, but happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, the active participants in their children's lives, because kids need to know that their fathers are involved, right?
If they're involved.
If they are. Ooh. And you were saying that
Happy Father's Day to all the single mothers.
Yeah. Miss Terry sent me something because, you know, she basically was a single mom.
Yeah, she raised
single mom
Ariel
raising
by herself,
Ariel
right?
by herself. Well, her dad, I'm not going to say Garcia wasn't active, because he was when he wanted to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can't pick and choose when you want to be a father or a mother at that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're trying to eliminate Mother's and Father's Day and have Parents' Day.
Yeah, Parents' Day.
Parents' Day. Well, you know, Mother's Day makes, like,
Mad money.
Mad money. People spend
yeah.
mad money on their mothers and not on their fathers. I don't think that's fair. Do you think that's fair?
I think if they make it Parents' Day, women will see.
It's so much commercialism
Yeah.
around Father's Day and Mother's Day, but especially Mother's Day.
Mother's Day is commercialized. Huh?
Yeah, it's just a lot of commercialism around Mother's Day.
It's probably just because there's more mothers than fathers, even though it's supposed to be equal, but it's just more mothers than fathers.
Really?
There's way more people that I know that grew up with their mother than grew up with just their father, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Because the mothers take on the onus of having the kids, unless she's just shit.
Yeah.
And the father then takes on the responsibility.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of mothers that just ain't shit. There's more fathers that ain't shit.
Even if the mother ain't shit, then her mother will probably take the kids.
That's
you know
true,
what
too.
I mean?
Grandma would step in back in the day. That is true.
Yeah,
Grandma
yeah.
would step in and raise her grandkids.
Yeah.
She ain't gonna let the grandkids go to the system, not if she can help it. And it's funny because aunties are like that too.
Yeah.
The siblings will come in if they can and take the kids.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. I watch Karamo. You ever watch Karamo?
No, what's that?
It's a talk show, and he was a therapist in the system for a long time, and I think he worked with kids. But he was saying, like, a lot of families, you know, step in and raise the kids. You see that a lot on his show, where the aunt might step in, the uncle raising the kids, the mother's in jail. Like, it'd be so many different scenarios. Like, you know, appreciate your parents why they're here. Give them their flowers. Give your dad his flowers. Men deserve. Some men like flowers too. There's nothing wrong with giving flowers. Do you know when Father's Day started?
Oh, it started?
The origins of Father's Day.
No, what
The
are you
first
saying?
Father's Day was practiced in 1908, July 5th of 1908, in a West Virginia church, in honors of Father's Day. That was the first and the last.
Really?
In 1908. Then it started again. It's crazy.
Yeah, because they only had 10 people come.
Then, let's see, it was one time, and not an annual. So they didn't make it. I'm not gonna say that they didn't continue to honor the fathers. It just didn't become a national holiday
Until when?
until I want to say 1916. President Wilson honored the day by using telegraph signals to unfurl a flag in Spokane. Okay, so maybe 1924. President Calvin Coolidge urged state governments to observe Father's Day. So,
And when was the first Mother's Day observed?
I can't remember, but remember we said it started with a young lady that was honoring her mother, and that's how Mother's Day started. But it probably started
That's what I'm asking, like,
before
way before
Father's Day.
1908.
Oh man, Google it and see what it says.
Yeah, 'cause
I bet you it was way before 1908. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But it's funny because in other countries, Father's Day, it falls in March. Like in Latin American countries, they have Father's Day too, but it's in March. It falls on March 19th. Yep. Oh, you checking for us?
Yeah, when first Mother's Day.
So in the 1930s, they tried to scrap Mother's Day and Father's Day altogether in favor of one single holiday called Parents' Day.
Oh, in 1930
In the 1930s, they tried it. So now they're trying it again.
That's hilarious.
Oh, man. They're trying to do it again. Don't let them do it, moms. Stand up for your holiday.
It's definitely, because think, even back then, them trying to do Parents' Day in 1930s when women didn't have rights and it didn't go through. Women got rights now, it's not going to go through.
It's not going to go through. Because women is going to fight about that.
They're going to be like, hell no.
They're going to be like, hell no.
They said the first Mother's Day was 1907.
1907.
So it was the year before that.
Oh, wow. Day. So in 1908 is when the observance of Father's Day. But that wasn't even like a holiday. It was just they were observing the fathers that day at this church in West Virginia. So... did you hear about the the draft? The House passes the defense bill, which automatically registers 18 to 26 year olds for the draft.
Yeah, me and Sin was just telling Zah about that like a couple weeks ago. That they, something like that was on the way.
And guess what? It's not only men, women too.
Oh, word!
Women have been added to that bill. So now,
good thing I'm old.
And then it was so funny because Cardi B commented, and it was funny to me because she's right. How you gonna have these TikTokers fighting a war?
Yeah, they're gonna be recording themselves.
Right, exactly. Y'all are sending them out there. What she says is very valid. This is not the same kids that grew up during the World War. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or even when, it's crazy to me because how do you prepare these TikTokers, these millennials for war?
I mean, if it's a digital war, how they're saying that the next world war is going to be a digital war, they might be the perfect candidates.
That's true because they're all in like criminal cybersecurity and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they just even the TikTok stuff, because
they understand the internet. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So come on with it then, Russia. Digital war. We're here for it. We are definitely here for the digital war. Yeah, but they said it's impacting. But it was funny because Cardi B was like, "Y'all really gonna take these TikTokers and send them to war? Like, I don't think that's a great idea." But she had a very good point.
It is though. When are they gonna start drafting people?
I don't know. I don't know about that because before you would register, when you turn a male and you turn 18, you would go and register, right? Mm-hmm. Now it's automatically as soon as you turn 18, they like, oh, man, such and such just turned 18. We about to register him for the draft.
I ain't fighting for this country.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's wild.
Crazy. Why is America such bullies, though? Why are we out here always trying to bully someone? We make every war about something that is not the actual cause of the war.
Yeah, I heard, I was talking to somebody yesterday, it might have been Sin, but he was saying that the reason that we looking out for Ukraine right now is because they say that there's lithium. Like, it's a good source of lithium over there.
We always want something.
Yeah.
That's like we tried to get Saddam Hussein. They kept saying it's because he was an evil guy and this and that. Oil. Y'all wanted the damn oil.
Yep.
That's all it was.
So
just say you greedy and you want oil.
Yeah, be truthful with us because we'll probably understand that,
Yeah.
Because we are them type of people. We are Americans. So
we trying to take everything we can. Let us get that. Give me that.
Yeah, we trying to take everybody's everything.
All right. Like, it's crazy. That's why people do not have any respect for America.
Yeah.
All the stuff going on here. Did you hear about them taking the key to the city back from Diddy?
No. What city? New York?
Yes. Oh, man. Is that like the final? Like, it's like.
I never heard of that. Taking the key back from somebody?
Yeah, they took the key back to the city.
They changed the locks on Diddy.
They done changed the locks on Diddy. Like.
They said you can't have them
freak
offs over here. What else are y'all
going. Diddy hasn't even been prosecuted yet. And you guys are taking everything. Now, what if he's innocent?
You seen the footage of him beating on Cassie, right?
Yeah, I seen it.
He ain't innocent.
You said he ain't it. But I think that he was in a deep, dark period back then. Like they said he had really bad drug problems and alcoholism. Doesn't make it right to beat somebody, but what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, this man was going through his own demons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he about to
It
be
doesn't make it right. I'm not saying it's right, but he was battling his own demons at that point when Cassie was with him. Cassie should have probably left, but you can't tell nobody to leave either.
Difficult to leave.
Yeah,
when
because you're
somebody's paying for
financially
everything,
dependent.
yeah.
He's paying for everything. He never.
And you signed to him.
Yeah, you're signed to him. He's paying for everything. You're living on his dime, and when you leave, you have nothing because you leave with the clothes that you walked in with. It's sad, but you was dealing with the man that was a demon back then. You know, he was dealing with his own demons.
So you think he's not a demon now still? He
I
was just
think
talking about peeing on Young Miami last year. A 20-something-year-old young lady
I know.
who he
I think
also
he has
owns
issues.
because she has a show on his network.
Yeah, which he sold the network.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's trying to liquidate a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I just feel sorry for his children, like his family. Like I really do
His
because
sons
I
were
feel.
partaking in the activities.
Oh, they were too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, what? That
I'm
whole
trying to
family
clean
is
it up for
corrupt.
Diddy. Diddy, I still love Diddy.
Nah,
man. I hate that Diddy.
You're canceled, Diddy.
Yeah, Diddy has been canceled. Definitely.
Get him out of here.
They took the keys to the city. Anytime they take the keys to New York City from you,
That's yeah, and
they took your honorary degree from Howard.
So he never really went to Howard.
Yeah, he went to Howard and graduated. I think undergrad from Howard.
Okay.
But they gave him an honorary doctorate for everything, like his philanthropy, everything that he's done
They
in
took his
hip hop.
doctorate.
They took his doctorate from him too.
Dang, I mean,
Like, how far do we go in stripping someone all the way down?
Biggie is canceled because of Diddy.
Do you think that had something to do with it?
Who, Diddy? Oh, the murder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think more is gonna be revealed. It's gonna be something crazy.
You think so? Oh my
Crazier.
God. I hope that. I don't think he would kill Diddy. I mean, Diddy would kill Tupac or Biggie.
Why not?
But why? He was making money from them.
He gonna make even more money if he did.
Oh my God, I never thought
You
about
never heard
that.
it's a Jadakiss said
Yeah, like
you
Nipsey
know-
Hussle. Look
yeah.
at Nipsey. Nipsey
How
was
much he
trying to.
blew up, yeah.
Man, Nipsey was trying to make it for years.
Yeah.
And on his death today, Nipsey's remembered more today than he was alive.
Exactly. Jadakiss had a line where he said, dead rappers get better promotion. It's true.
Wow.
And then they don't got to split no money. They can really control how the bread get paid out. You know, it's a dirty game.
It is. It's a very dirty game, and it's sad because I just don't ever want to believe the two best rappers of all time died
Within a year apart.
within a year apart. Like, I don't ever want to think that Diddy had anything to do with that. Like, I would be crushed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just because, I mean, like, I believe the things that they're saying about him because there's video.
Mm-hmm.
He paid them $50,000 to keep the video out of public eye.
Show you
Like,
what money can do.
how can somebody even hide that?
Dinero.
Money does everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
You seen he was running down he had to be insane. He's running with a half towel on, holding a towel through the hotel. He feels like he's unstoppable.
Yeah. And beating her. Like,
Yeah.
that really broke my heart, really. Because I was just like, for a young lady that was so young and just so, if he did that to her, imagine what he did to Kim Porter.
Yeah, that's what I heard people saying too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If he did that to Cassie, imagine how he broke her. He broke that woman too. You know what I'm saying? Things that we only her and him know, which is sad. But
And this is why fathers aren't respected.
oh, well. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. It's just that I was just like, damn, he hasn't even been convicted yet, and they're treating him like a serious felon.
Nah, people were saying like proof until that Cassie footage came out. When that footage came out, people was like, nah, he's guilty.
He's guilty of beating her and hurting her, but do you think he's guilty of everything else they're saying he's guilty of? Oh, you
Yeah.
do. Dang, okay.
For sure.
Well,
And more.
if you say it, then I believe it too. So today I want to talk about, last week we talked about breakups, right?
Mm-hmm. The steps to the breakups.
Yeah, to get through the breakup.
Yeah, get through
So
it.
today I want to talk about like people being, like a lot of people say you're independent You know, you're so independent that you don't need anybody.
Like independent women and stuff.
Yeah, like women, like, you know, but they're talking about there's like levels to being independent.
Okay.
And there's red flags to being independent too. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
When I think about independence, I think about the theme songs for
Boss,
independence.
Yeah. INDEP.
That one. There was a Independent Woman by
Yep.
Destiny's Child.
Independent
You
Woman,
remember
yeah.
that one? What's another one? Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a couple of them.
It's a couple of them. Can I tell you, I love Glorilla, the song. That's the anthem for this summer.
Yeah, Glow. That song. Yeah, Glow.
The one that where she say, it's 8:00 on Friday. Is that what it is?
Nah, I don't know if
Oh
which
my
one that
God,
is.
pull it up. Oh my God, that's the theme song for the summer. I'm bumping that all
Glorilla
summer
got
long.
Song of the Summer.
The song of the summer.
Yeah, I like
swear.
Glorilla. She probably my favorite other than New
Yeah,
Young
I just like her
Shorties.
voice too, cause she's
Yeah.
hey man,
Countries, I
Glorilla.
don't know what.
She's from Memphis. 95 degrees.
That's what the song called?
Hold on.
Yeah, no, I ain't heard that yet.
It's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 95 degrees.
That's hard.
What? I'm outside. Oh my God. Oh Lord. But yeah, I know you heard.
It's 7 p.m. Friday, it's 95 degrees.
No, I ain't heard this.
I ain't got no nigga, and no nigga ain't got me. Let's go. Gotta show my ass. Fuck these niggas love a freak. How the fuck is that your man? Huh? If he right here with me, the fuck? Turned up with my niggas. Turned up with my bitches. Turned up with
Nah, Glorilla fire.
This
though.
is the theme song for this.
Yeah.
If y'all ain't on it, it's called 95 degrees.
95 degrees.
Y'all start pumping that in y'all car. Ladies, it's 95 degrees. You better be outside.
And that's true though. It was 90 degrees yesterday. It was like 92.
It was hot.
Yeah, it was hot.
As heck yesterday. It was hot. But anyway, just talking about independent. Independent, you know, being independent, it could be something good and it could be something bad. Because if they call it hyper independence, is when like you don't depend on nobody, you just do it for yourself. And sometimes they say that could be a bad thing because, you know, you might not get the results that you want because you're so independent from everybody that you don't know how to ask for help.
No help. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or you don't even know how to take that when people asking you. You're just always denying it. I know shorties like that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like there's no question. It's like, you know, I feel like I'm sort of like that sometimes too. Like when it's related to work, like I don't know how to ask for help, and knowing that if you do get the help sometimes that it could make the situation even better. You might learn something in the situation. If you're just always thinking you can do it for yourself, you're never going to learn from that.
Real.
It's always something to learn, right?
Yeah.
From being independent.
You just gotta have dependable people around you though, because I know a lot of people do things like even me. I'll do stuff on my own because I know that I'm gonna put my all into it, and I ain't gotta worry about it coming back on me, letting somebody else do it. You know what I mean?
Right. There's so there's hyper independence versus healthy independence versus hyper independence is what it's called. So hyper independence is, and this is on MSN.com, and it's red flags to independence is the article, right? So it says hyper independence is over relying on yourself and under relying on others. So you're doing it for yourself, right? They said that's kind of toxic. Do you see that as being toxic though? Can it be toxic?
It depends on, unless the shorty just wants a submissive guy,
It could be-
then
it
it probably works. If she got a submissive, you know, if she's the dominant one, it probably work.
If you think about it too, your family relationships can make you hyper independent. Like if you in your family you couldn't depend on
nobody,
anybody,
yeah.
and you were your own person, like your parents were out there and you're just out here fending for yourself, and
Yeah.
you know, some people become what do you call it when they have to become separated from their parents? There's a term for
Yeah,
it.
start with an E.
Emancipated.
Yeah.
Like kids become emancipated early because their parents ain't they just ain't doing what they don't want to be parents. So they become emancipated from their parents and become hyper daggone independent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where they just don't know how to take help. Or that can really come from having to be, you know, on your own for so long by yourself with nobody helping you.
Yeah, I think I think the hyper independence thing work best if if your partner is hyper independent too, because then it doesn't feel like somebody's getting less than or putting more in than I think it would work if y'all both the same type of person.
You think so?
Yeah.
But then people, I don't know about that, because I feel like for men need to feel like they're needed in a relationship with a woman. You know what I'm saying? Even though some women, we might not really need you, but we'll let you think, hey, can you wash my car? Or can you hang this up? I can hang up my own stuff, but I might come to you and say, can you hang this up for me? Because I want you to feel like you're the man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that sometimes that when women, we could be so independent that we just do it automatically without asking. You know what I'm saying? So it could be that. It could be that too. Do you think that, I don't know. Because I feel like sometimes I may be too independent too, because I don't know how to ask for help. A lot of times I'd be like, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah. I mean, but there's some things that you rather help with, like that desk that I just helped you with.
Oh yeah, put stuff together, but like rearranging stuff.
Car, maybe,
yeah, but see, like I just rearranged my house, and I did it by myself. Like at the end of the day, I have someone I can ask? Yeah, I do. But why am I going to ask? Are you going to help me? Because I always feel like when you ask somebody, they feel obligated. They be like, sure. If you say sure to me, I feel like that's not exciting enough. You don't sound excited to be helping me. You know what I'm saying? Is that crazy? But that's how I feel. When somebody says sure to me, how do you take sure? Because I take sure as a negative. I do. When somebody says sure, it's like you really don't want to help me.
I mean, but if they help you, then they're doing it even if they don't want to. That got to count for something.
But that's why people don't ask, like even if you're on a team of people, that's why people don't ask people for help. Because it's the way that you respond to the question of, can you help me? If you respond with sure, it doesn't sound like you really want to help me.
Let's see what the definition of sure is.
Look that up. Because I feel like sure is just like, sure. I don't know. I take that negatively. I don't know why, but I do. That's with anybody. I'll ask someone else.
Listen, the definition of sure is confident in what one thinks or knows, having no doubt. So it's like, no doubt I'm going to help you 100%. So you can't be mad.
Oh, man. Okay, so I take it negative. What's another word? What's another definition?
What, for sure?
Yeah, it's got to have more than one.
Having certain prospect or confident anticipation of, certain to do something, able to be relied on or trusted.
Wow. See, why do I see that as negatively?
Maybe it's how the person is saying it.
No, because normally they're not even saying it. They're responding over like a text or something. And I'm like, sure. Like for me, I'm like, sure. I'm going to be like, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to respond differently. You need my help? Hey, can you help me with something? Absolutely. What can I help you with?
Yeah.
I feel like when somebody says sure, like maybe I didn't know the definition. I learned something today, y'all. It's okay. You learn something every day. I never thought about it that way.
Certainly. It says certainly. Like.
That's one of the synonyms for it?
Yeah, synonyms, yeah.
Wow. See, I wouldn't even have took it that way.
Sure as I then, like.
Well, I guess, I definitely took that the wrong way then.
Yeah.
I'm okay with saying I'm wrong.
Look,
you know what I'm saying? I had to think about that. I was like, sure. Because that really made me mad when somebody say sure. I'll be like, why is she saying sure? How about, of course I can. Absolutely.
But what if they said for sure, like for sure?
For sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd take that better than, I don't know.
She's like, sure?
Sure.
No.
When they say sure, I'd be like, you don't really want to help me. I don't know. It just sounds to me like, it sounds negative to me. I don't know. That's just negative. My opinion, my perspective. I don't know. I can have it. You have yours. I have mine. All right. So with hyper independence, it's therapists say that it's like having extreme self-reliance. Like you just depend on you. Because you feel.
Go ahead.
Do you think it's because people feel like they can't depend on other people?
Yeah, can't count on people.
Yeah, or you can't count on someone.
Been let down so much. It's like.
But do you become hyper independent with everyone, or do you just say with the people that you can't rely on? Somebody's let you down.
But I think they do it to everybody though.
Really?
Yeah, because I've definitely dealt with even this is the shorty I talk to now that just does everything on her own. She's just saying she's not used to nobody ever being there to help her. Yeah. So she doesn't ask for it.
Yeah, that to me would create anxiety. If I needed help and I couldn't, it creates anxiety with me because when I think I have a task to do and I don't know what to do, and because I'm new at my job and I don't know what to do, I become anxious because I'm like, oh my God, I need help. Who can I go to help me?
Yeah.
Because that network of people is very important to your success. If you're just depending on yourself and just think, you don't know how to handle every situation by yourself.
Yeah.
You need help. So what does she do? Like she just moves throughout life just doing everything herself?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
For the most part.
Wow.
And her family's in like Jersey. She's here and she's a boss at her job, so she just used to doing stuff by herself.
Wow, but she could use her teamwork, like team as a network.
Yeah.
If she wanted to, right? It's the difference between asking or refusing help.
Mm-hmm.
If you're asking for it and you get it, or somebody saying, hey, I can help you, and then you refuse to get the help.
Yeah.
Because people do that too. Like, oh, I can help you. And they'll be like, no, I'm good. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Why would you sit there and try to figure it out? And it might take you a whole day to figure it out when someone has offered to help you. I'm going to take the help. I'm going to take the help. Because to me, when I can't figure it out, I become anxious.
Really?
Yeah. And I got to walk away because I'm like, oh, I'm anxious. This is making me anxious.
Yeah. I be doing stuff by myself. Yeah. I
Really?
much rather, and this is me just speaking on the artist side of things.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to care about your art the way you do.
Yeah.
No matter what.
So you're just going to do it.
So you'll find somebody who does what you need help with and learn from them and then do it yourself.
Oh.
Like I do things like that.
But at least you're learning from somebody. You're still asking for the help and then taking what you've learned and applying it to what you need to do.
Yeah.
I think for me, I took care of my siblings as a child. You know what I'm saying? I used to iron my brothers. I was like 8 and 9 washing dishes. Cooking. So I feel like that was beneficial to me in learning how to figure things out, that I didn't really ask for a lot of help because I felt like as a young child I was trying to figure it out on my own. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my mom would give me a list though. She would be like, okay, the meat is there, take all these ingredients and you mix it together, and mix it together, and then you put it in the oven. Like, she gave me instruction.
Yeah.
But sometimes those instructions weren't clear. But I had to figure it out. I had to figure it out. Some stuff I had to just figure out.
And I feel like that benefits you in the long run.
Oh yeah, it ingrained in me in the level of independence. I think that as a woman, as a single woman, as a woman that, has her own stuff, it really, watching her, she was in the United States by herself. She didn't have any siblings here. 6 children. You're raising 6 kids on your own. You have no family. Like, she had to figure shit out.
Hyper independent.
Yeah. And when, romantic partners would come into play, she would be like, I don't need you. And I feel like that has rubbed off on me too, because I feel like I don't need you, but I want you. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in a relationship with you, but I don't need you because I can pay my own bills. You know what I'm saying? I'm successful. I live a comfortable life. You know what I'm saying? Not uncomfortable by any means. But it does create, for me, she used to always tell me that's what created hyper independence in me too, because she always told me, like, always have a degree, always have your own money, make sure that you can live on your own, and if you have children, that you can take care of your kids by yourself. And if that means hustling 1-2 jobs, I'm out here doing it. Yeah. There was a time where, I came out of a marriage and I wasn't getting no child support. Like, I had to come out here. We was used to living a certain type of way. We ain't gonna starve. I'm gonna go find me another job. That's being hyper independent. Not depending on anybody to pay your bills. I had an expensive car. Like, I was like, I can't be out here. Car being repossessed, lights. Our power never got turned off. The gas was always on. You know what I'm saying? The lights was always on. There was food in the refrigerator. Like, you just got to make it happen. And that comes from watching my mother be so hyper independent. And it's funny because when she finally met my stepdad, even when she met him, she was like, I don't need you. I've been doing this for years by myself, raising these kids by myself.
And this is why Father's Day gets no respect.
Because the women are out here hustling. Yeah, hustling. You know what I'm saying? So, but just think, being hyper independent, with that comes a lot of negative impacts too. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you get anxiety. You can, people, you can't build trusting relationships with people. You know what I'm saying? You feel like, people are unreliable or untrustworthy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It creates toxicity too, being hyper independent.
Oh, for sure. And then I think it makes you maybe even a little narcissistic. You want everything your way. It's your way or the highway, because you're just used to always getting, it's always your way.
You're absolutely right. That is so, definitely. And it can, for the person that's hyper independent, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that sometimes too. I don't know how to ask for help. You know what I'm saying? Even if I was like in a financial bind, if I was in any type of bind. And I always tell my girlfriends, I know if I'm in a financial bind, I can go to my rich girlfriends because they got money. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be all right. But at the end of the day, would I do that? Probably not. Yeah. Because I'm too proud. You know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't do it because I'm too proud to ask you for anything. I'm too proud to, say I don't have it. You always want to, the facade of, I got this.
Good. Yeah,
that
being
I'm good.
Too proud toxic though?
That's what I'm saying. It is. That can really, just think about that even in, I say in friendships, but even in your romantic relationships, when you're too independent, men don't like that. If they feel like, because when I was in a relationship with somebody that I had more than, it was like I had no respect for that person. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I'm out here hustling every day, going to work every day, paying my bills every day. What am I with you for? You can't do shit for me. Like it makes women lash out, and we can say some nasty stuff to people, to men. If you're not, if we too independent in the relationship, it ain't gonna end well. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
That in the long term, that it bites them in the ass.
Yeah.
To need to say, because they feel like they don't need no man or they don't need nobody, but eventually everybody needs somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody does.
Yeah. So anything could happen. You might break a leg, and now you need everything. They can't even walk in the crib, or
Yeah. That's true. That is so true. It'll humble you.
Yeah, it'll humble them.
Because I feel like being hyper independent can create an avoidant type of attachment, like where I really don't have to be attached to you because I got this. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be kind of mean sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that has to do with being so independent, hyper independent, because I know I can be a little mean sometimes because I'm already Latina and I'm already aggressive, so it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes I lack the emotional intimacy that it takes to be in a relationship because of my hyper independence. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm trying to be different, you know what I'm saying? And that's probably because I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I said to that person, I said, I have been, in most of my relationships, I have been in relationships where I didn't have to do no work. You know what I'm saying? Because usually they like me more than I like them. So I didn't feel the need to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? It's weird, but have you ever been in a relationship like that where it's like, I always feel like, oh, they love me more than I love them. I don't gotta work for nothing. You ever felt that way?
Not in a relationship, but with maybe dealing with a shorty that definitely liked me more than her. I liked her.
Yeah. So how does that, like, because for me, I felt like the relationship that I'm in now, or was in, I feel like I really had to work in that relationship. And I wasn't accustomed to that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I felt vulnerable. And I don't like feeling vulnerable. I don't know what it is that I don't like being vulnerable, but Because I feel like when you're vulnerable, people can take advantage of you. And I don't like to show vulnerability. Or you could be hurt. You're open up to being hurt. I always felt like I put a wall up, a boundary up, so that I'm not vulnerable and you can't hurt me, basically. But I felt like in the last relationship, I had to work to be in that relationship. And I was like, I had to think, I even said it to him, like, I ain't never had to work in no relationship. And I was like, this might sound crazy, but they usually like me more than I like them. So I really didn't have to work in it. And he was just like, what? But it was true. I've never had to work in any relationship as much as, and I was married to somebody. And I don't feel like I worked really hard in that relationship. I felt like it was just like, maybe because I had kids, it was just like the time was passing by. You know, I was married to this person. And of course you want things to work out because you're married to the person and you have children. But after a while, I was like, I ain't putting no effort into this no more. I don't have it in me to put the effort. And I felt like I've lived my life and my relationships like that for the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So just remember, being hyper independent, it's got some pros, it got some cons. Definitely, you have to trust other people. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know when to say, I need help.
Yeah, if they show that they can be trusted.
If they show that they can be trusted. There's a lot of people, I mean, that's with anything, right? Because like I said, you gotta be vulnerable at some point. You know what I'm saying? And to allow people in your circle. Once they show you that they're not trustworthy, then you can go with that and say, okay, I know I can't trust this person, but don't judge every person based off an experience that you had with one person.
Yeah.
That's not good. Yeah, what do you think about that?
I was just, based on what you were just saying, I was saying, but even some people could be trustworthy, but just not dependable. Like, you can trust them, but you just can't depend on them. Right? Or do you think that they're the same thing?
You can't trust or depend on?
You can trust them, but you just can't depend on them.
Oh, yeah. There's people that you can trust, but you can't depend on them. They're just not...
They're good people. They just be having a lot going on, too.
Right. Like, that's what I was going to say. They just got so much stuff going on that they really can't help you. You know what I'm saying? Although they try, that doesn't mean they're not trustworthy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So they said there's ways to recognize signs of hyperindependence in yourself and ways to change it. The first way is to first recognize that you're hyper independent and why. What has led to you being hyper independent? And if you need to seek counseling to help with that, because I think a lot of people think it's okay. Like, I know all women out here like, I'm independent, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But there's some pros and cons to being independent or over independent. You know what I'm saying? So you have to recognize what has caused you to be hyper independent and work on those things that have caused you to be hyper independent. Like maybe your parents that weren't shit and you feel like you can't trust any adults. You have to work through those issues. Why were your parents not there for you? What was going on in their lives that made them, not available to you? And you can't go into life thinking, that every adult is that way or that you can't depend on anybody else because of what they've shown you. They were in their own, lives going through their own issues. We don't know why, but you have to figure that out by talking to them and saying, hey, as a child, I felt abandoned. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, I can't depend on other people. I have trust issues because that creates trust issues, vulnerability issues. You feel like you can't depend on anybody. I think that's critical in life, period, because that goes from your relationship to your work relationships to everything. Right? I mean, and also, think about how you feel when you're asking for help.
Oh, yeah. How does it feel inside?
Yeah. How do you feel inside? That's another way to overcome it. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe when you're asking for help, you feel anxious or you feel like you're not smart enough. Like, what feelings are you getting from asking for help? Recognizing that and working through those feelings, you know what I'm saying? So that you can get comfortable with asking for help when necessary. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I feel like you feel like when you're not asking for help, that's a huge burden on you. You know what I'm saying? You got a burden, a heavy load. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you definitely need to identify your feelings and why you feel that way when you ask for help. Also, identify people in your life that feel safe to you, that you can rely on. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are those people? Like, for me, I think Katrina, I can definitely depend on Katrina. I can depend on Anita. Like, there's people in my life that I know that I can definitely go to if I need help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's based on things they've done in the past.
Exactly. So be able to identify
good people.
Your community of good people. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you build. That's how you begin to become less hyper independent. Do you become, I guess, less hyper independent,
Yeah,
right?
you just become what? Just independent?
Just independent? No, you just start to build trusting relationships with people, and you become vulnerable. It's okay that you need to humble yourself sometimes, right?
Yeah, if not, life would do it.
Helping people or being helped by people builds healthy relationships overall. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that you don't have to, it doesn't have to be that you're so independent. You gotta, that's, to me, that's toxic. I don't know. You don't know how to ask for help. You burn out. You feel lonely. You have anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that make it very toxic.
You said you're hyper independent, right?
I feel like I am,
like
but it does
you're
create anxiety for me.
Yeah, no, you always got anxiety. That's why you be working out every day.
Right, to get out the anxiety. No, but I feel like that's probably why, though, because I become anxious. Because I feel like I'm I wouldn't say hyper independent. Because I will ask people for help. You know what I'm saying? The people that are hyper independent, they don't know how to ask for help. So I will ask for help.
So you think you're just more independent?
Yeah, I think I'm just more independent. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Ladies, you could be independent. Get your theme songs and keep moving on through life being independent. But just know that it can lead to anxiety, burnout, loneliness, feeling like there's no one in your immediate circle that can help you. You don't have any family.
I think loneliness is the biggest thing on that list. Like, it definitely is going to lead to loneliness.
Definitely. And then just think about it. People think that asking for help is a sign of weakness, and it's not. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I used to think like that.
For real?
Yeah, like, oh, they're going to think I don't know my job, or they're going to think I don't know what I'm doing. You don't know everything.
Yeah, it's probably different in corporate America world. It's like,
yeah, it's like,
I'm hired to do this.
I don't know. I was hired to do this, but I don't know what I'm doing. Because somebody help me. But seriously, because it does, people feel like it's a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
Asking for help. It's not a sign of weakness. You don't know everything. It's okay to ask for help. Make sure that you're asking for help when you need it. Don't allow yourself to get anxiety because you don't want to ask anybody for help. You know what I'm saying? So just remember that. That's important. So those were the things to help you recognize that you're hyper independent and things that you can do to change the way you think. I think that was important, right?
For sure. Sure.
You don't want to be, you definitely don't want to self-isolate because self-isolation leads to loneliness too. Loneliness, nobody wants to feel like they're alone in this world.
Being lonely sucks.
Yeah, being lonely does. And it causes depression too. You don't want to become depressed over.
But I like being lonely though.
You do?
I like being alone.
You do?
Yeah.
Not all the time though.
No, not all the time.
But I think we're all like that. There's a period of time where you, like if you've been around a lot of people, there's times where you want to be by yourself.
You want to recharge.
Yeah, you want to be by yourself. You don't want to talk to anybody. There's times where I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, I love not talking to people.
Especially if I've had to talk all day and then I got to come and talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I just want to chill and just being in silence. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just ride in the car in silence because you need that time to regroup. You know what I'm saying? So don't be, what I'm trying to say is don't be too hyper independent. You can be independent, just don't be hyper independent. Know your weaknesses. It's okay with asking for help. It doesn't make you weak because you're asking other people for help. Right? Mm-hmm. That's the point I want to make. All right, that's it. That's the end of the podcast. I mean, that's all I had to talk about today, y'all. That's it. But thank you for coming back. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and I'm missing one. What did I miss?
I think you said them all.
Apple Podcasts.
Okay. Oh, I thought you said
you ain't paying attention. No, but yes, that's it, y'all. I'm out. Bye.